Hello, welcome back to the channel. Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and here we are now with part 2 of the inbox review of this beautiful new kit from Verifier, and this is the 1350th Imperial Japanese Navy Yamato, as you can see on the box here. And this is the advanced version, not currently available yet from Tiger Hobbies, but I'm going to ask Gary to get it up on his site so you can go and ask for notification when it comes into stock. So if you've seen part 1 already, then you'll know all about what the advanced version is all about. If not, go and have a look. It's on my channel. I put it up yesterday. It was 21st of November 2024. And basically in that one we're looking at all the packaging, we're looking at the instructions, and we're talking about what the advanced kit is all about and comparing it with the border model sort of verbally and the Tamiya kit as well. Both in the realms of cost and what you're getting and everything, and the pluses and the minuses. So basically this is the basic kit. Okay, so that's their ad for new stuff coming. Apparently this is on its way to me, so looking forward to seeing that, the Takao. So yeah, basically what we're getting here, this is the standard kit. Okay, so this is the instructions you get with all of your models, whether you get the standard, the advanced or the deluxe. And basically this is the kit. Okay, so that's all the sprues and hull and photo etch and chain and everything. And then if you get the DX kit, you get lots and lots of extras. You get a wooden deck, you get loads of 3D printed parts, loads of photo etch and bits and pieces coming out of your ears, basically. In fact, I think I've got here. Yes, I do. This is a this is what you get for in the DX kit. You get all this turned brass and aluminium. You get all these resin printed parts. You got all your guns and everything, which is very, very nice indeed. Now, if you're looking at getting the border model kit and thinking, well, I get all that resin in there anyway. Yes, you do. What I don't like about the border model is all the smaller guns. The actual barrels are also printed, so the only metal barrels I believe are the main ones. Don't count me on this, but I believe that's what you get, and that's all you get in actual metal. The rest is all 3D printed, and I know for a fact, as some of you will know, with 3D printed resin, you literally touch it and it breaks, and that's one of the things I don't like about 3D printed resin. It's so brittle, generally. So this is the advanced kit. So basically with this one, which we're going to look at in this one, we're getting all this turned metal brass here. These are aluminium, the rest is brass. And then we get these resin parts here, and then we get all this photo etch. So basically it's the deluxe kit less most of this down here. Okay, so for this you're going to use your plastic parts, but you know, the plastic parts are very nice as well, as we'll see now. So, and the other thing, the beauty of this one is, as I discussed in the part 1, the standard kit is $129.99. The advanced kit, which includes all of this you can see here, so you've got 5 more sheets of photo etch, you've got a wooden deck, you've got all this resin, and you've got all this turned metal, and it's only $149.99. So it's absolutely incredible value for money. It's probably the best value for money ship kit on the market, to be honest. You know, the whole kit is cheaper than the Pontos set for the 350th Tamiya kit. So, you know, it's a bloody bargain. Plus you don't have that problem of the multi-part Tamiya hull, which is a complete and utter pain. So anyway, we've looked at the instructions, we've looked at that, we've looked at the cost, we've talked about comparisons. Let's have a look at what we get in the kit. So we had a look in the part 1 video at the hull, and you can see how beautiful the moulding is on there. You've got all this rivet detail. It's absolutely stunningly gorgeous. It really is nice. The degaussing cable is beautiful. The Tamiya one is just basically a very faint line, so it leaves you to have to, you know, remove it and put the photo etch on there. But the degaussing cable on here is beautiful, and you can see here that it correctly goes up into that port, which they haven't done on some other kits. So even the 200 scale doesn't have that. So yeah, very, very nice indeed, and beautiful moulding on the hull. So I can put that over there out of the way if it'll stay there. Right. And you can also see under here we have a box which is taped closed, and that contains the photo etch, which is a really nice touch. If you look at Sen Navy's review, he's just put a review out a couple of days ago, a full review of the border model kit. You'll see he talks about the packaging in there. So looking at the sprues, what have we got here? I'm just going to take these out of the box as they come. The bags are either open or sealed. They're not sort of resealable or stapled or anything, so, which is great they're not stapled, because I don't like stapled bags. So basically we have here, we have the deck, and as you can see the deck is beautifully moulded, very, very crisp and very nice. What I don't like about it, as a lot of you will know, I don't like this staggered, constantly staggered planking, like every single plank is an identical length. It just looks terrible, but with this kit you get a wooden deck, so that's cool. But the wooden deck also has the staggered planking, so it's something I wish the manufacturers would stop doing, because I don't see that ships would have been like that in reality. We've got these ejector Z-pins on here as well, which are going to have to get broken away. But basically, yeah, very nice, quite a thick moulding. And we've got lots of holes to drill out, just like the Tamiya kit. Unlike the Tamiya kit, these aren't marked. On the Tamiya kit, you've got M's and Y's, so Musashi and Yamato. But they've already done, very far have already done the Musashi kit. There's a few reviews of it out on YouTube land, if you want to go and look for that one. It's obviously very, very similar to Yamato, but they brought Musashi out first. But as we can see, there is some deformation of the plastic due to holes on the back and everything, but as I say, it doesn't really matter because it's getting covered up with a wooden deck. But again, you can see here we don't have these silly segments going, like Tamiya have got these. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking when they designed that kit, but they have sections of the deck that come out and have to be screwed down, and why? What were they thinking? It's ridiculous. But there we go. So that's the main wooden deck section. Obviously the rest of the deck, the forecastle and the flight deck, are all steel or concrete, whatever. But yeah, shame about this planking. I wish manufacturers would steer away from that. It's really annoying. And then we've got the lower part of the hull, and you can see here we've got all the drainage and the chambers and everything all moulded in, which is nice. There is a mould seam there, which will have to be sanded out. If you're worried about it, it's going to be right on the bottom. But this, I think this way of doing it is so much better than the border model way, where they've just made the hull in two halves and hence they've got mould seams. I think it's so much nicer. Hang on a second. Sorry about that, guys. Unfortunately, when you've got a puppy and you leave the bathroom door open, this is what happens. This is the contents of the toilet roll that gets pulled out and all across the room. So there we go. Right, making videos is not as easy these days as it was. It'll get better. So yeah, beautiful decking, planking detail or plating detail on here. Whether this is correct or not, I do not know, with the three plates raised together there. But we don't have that horrible seam that you've got with the Tamiya kit. It goes like this, doesn't it? It's why, I do not know. It's for moulding purposes is why they've done it. But yeah, as you can see here, we've got this mould seam to get rid of. But I was saying, the border model, they've made the hull in two halves, and as a result, you've got a mould seam here you have to sand out, and a mould seam here. I think, does it go up or come down? I can't remember. But the whole plating is a mess around this rear area on the border kit. I think this is by far the best way of doing it. And as I say, I've seen Sen Navy build this hull on his channel, and it looked like it just went together seamlessly. But you've got these Z pins have got to come off. But yeah, really nice, really nice. So that's the lower section of the hull and the deck. So that bag can go over there, out of the way. Right, what we got here? Here's a fairly large sprue. So we'll cut this one open on the back. There we go. So here we have. This is the rear area, the area on the stern where the boats go, the ship's boats. This is sort of underneath the flight deck. So you can see that's got some lovely, I'm going to put the light on the side, guys, to get a shadow. We can see we've got some lovely detail on there. Got the degaussing cable going up. It goes across the floor and then up and along the wall. Here we've got part of the funnel. Got some lovely raised fastener detail. I'm not going to say rivets or bolts because I don't know what it is, but it's fastener detail. It's very, very crisply moulded indeed. Here you can see the other parts of the funnel. Again, whether you can see it on here or not, I do not know, but there is some beautiful raised detail on there, which is very finely done. You can see the grid on the floor there is part of the main superstructure. Again, beautiful raised detail, fastener detail. Portholes will need to be drilled out if you want to. Rudder here, it's the only Yamato kit I know of with the correctly shaped rudder. And then there's the front or the back, is it, of the superstructure there. Here's the this is the aircraft hangar. So it's got the nice floor detail on there, and then this is the area where the ship's boats come out. Ship's boats are parked in here, so they're not affected by the blast of the rear gun. And they come out on tracks. You can see we've got the holes there for the tracks. No doubt the tracks will be photo etch, so they're going to come out on those tracks. And there'll be doors here, and there'll be doors here, and there'll be a ladder going up there. But that is very nice. And this detail here, a lot of people always think it's over scale. I certainly did. But when you actually see photographs in real life, that's how it was. It was actually large pieces of steel welded to the floor. It was, you can imagine in 350th scale. It isn't trying to depict checker plate like you get on the back of a truck or something. It is actually like that. So yeah, that's very nice indeed. Not quite sure what that is. That's probably part of the structure here that blanks it off. But it'd be nice to have an aircraft in there with its wings folded perhaps. So yeah, lovely. As I say, it's every bit as nice as the Tamiya kit moulding wise, from what I've seen, the reviews I've seen. So here we've got sprue L. These bags are very, very tightly done. I can't get them cut open. Just looking around to see what she's chewing now. So we've got two of these, sprue L. So you can see on here we've got the propellers or screws, whatever you want to call them. Just looking at, they look a little thick in section, but they are beautifully moulded. Okay, thick in section to my eye anyway. And then we've got some little aiming areas there, I think they are. There's some more there. Little bits and bobs going around. We've got these are the chutes that run down the side for the drains. Gun positions there, that looks like the ones that go on top of the turrets. And then we've got more gun positions there. These are going along the side of the deck, I think. Antenna mast here for the secondary guns. And then we've got, that's unusual, got half an anchor. So where's the other half? It's a bit strange, isn't it? But yeah, beautifully done. So that's some davits there, I think. You can see very, very tiny, tiny parts, all beautifully done. There's the post there for the crane supports on the stern. All very nicely done. Bearing in mind, guys, with all the extra photo etch you're getting in here, a lot of this plastic is going to be replaced. I'll just put that to one side like it is. I'm just taking these bags out as they come. There's no specific order, so you may get some seriously small parts and some seriously big parts all mingled in. So here's this is sprue IK. So here we go. So if you remember, I told you in part one with these kits from Verifire, you'll get IK, and this is I'm assuming the I is for Imperial Japanese Navy. So it's a generic sprue that you may get in Tai-Ho or Taco, whatever, whatever Japanese kit you get. So it's very, very nice, and it's nice they include them with the Tamiya kit. As I say, you have to buy them extra, and with the border you don't get any either. So there we go. So you've got the canvas cover there if you want to use it. You can see the detail on that boat there is gorgeous. Very, very nice. And I know, for example, with the photo etch we're getting, we're going to cut part of that away and replace it with photo etch. And you're also getting all the photo etch bits and pieces for the propellers and everything on them. So they're very nice indeed. Here we've got another slightly larger sprue. I'm going to cut from this end so I don't have that tab in the way. There we go. So this is sprue I, as you can see. So we've got the mast here, which is moulded and has some bow in it, but not to worry. I don't think I'm going to be using any of that anyway, because you're going to be using a metal one. And there we've got some more gun positions there. Beautifully done. There's no ejector pin marks or anything on them. You can see they've got the uprights in the sides, and we've got the checker plate, or what I call the checker plate in the floor, the gridding should I say. And here's the lower side of the main radar, or is that the lower side and that's the upper? They've got that very nicely done. I wonder if they've got the railing properly. And here we've got the positions here for all the binoculars and everything. Little panels there, I'm not sure where they're going to go, but they are very nice indeed. Little doors on them. Very nicely done. And as you can see, all completely flash free, very, very crisp. Seam lines are literally non-existent because everything here is, except for the mast, there's hardly anything there at all seam line wise. I'm going to put this one back in its bag because that mask looks quite flimsy. I don't think we use any of it, but you never know. And then here we have some more major parts by the look of it. So we have a choice here of two sterns. So depending which you want to use, the rounded or the flattened type, do your research, see which is which. Okay, yeah, where were we? Right, so we got the the sterns here. There's the grill on the top of the funnel. I believe that'll be replaced with PE. We got some stiffeners there for the hull. So very, very nice indeed. You can see the 1/350th Yamato is extremely boldly moulded on there. So yeah, very nice, very crisp, all very clean. It's going to look great under the Curie Arsenal Grey, LP13 I believe it is. I think it's LP13 or LP12. LP12. The best LP paint there is. It just sprays like silk and goes down and covers beautifully. And luckily Yamato was Curie Arsenal Grey. So get yourself a few jars of LP12 for this one, because you're going to need it. Put that one back in its bag. What's next? Okay, so here's the flight deck. Now, is the flight deck correctly moulded? Okay, so yes, we have the texture here on there, which is nice. We have all the plating here for the. So I think this was actually concreted over steel. I don't know why, but it was, I believe. I think it was for the armour qualities of the concrete. But sorry if you can hear Dottie in the background. I've put her in the kitchen. So there we go. Very, very nice indeed. Some very tiny holes for all the tracking and everything that's going on here for the aircraft, and we've got the little turntables going to go in there. But beautifully, beautifully moulded. It is very nice indeed. Not sure if this is a little overscale, but that'd be easy to sand back if you want to. And then here we've got these are the gun emplacements and everything on the sides of the superstructure. So yeah, nicely done. Unfortunately, on the 200 scale kit, the glue tube, they got none of the tread moulded on, unfortunately. Okay, so here we have a sprue of very fine parts. I'm wondering if this is going to be openable, or is it sealed? I can see an edge there, and you can see it as well, but I can't see anything to pick up on. So what we'll do, we'll just cut it. we'll just cut it open along here. It's beautifully packaged, very thoughtfully done, which is one of the downfalls with the border model. Apparently, be very careful. According to Sen Navy, there is a... what is going on here? There is a Chinese version and like a domestic version. Maybe that was difficult. That band around there is like a separate band around there. I don't know why. Yeah, basically there is a domestic version and there is an export version, and the domestic version is not very well packaged. So be very careful buying your cheap kits from China on eBay and stuff, because by the time you get it, it will probably be beat to hell because it's not very well packaged at all. And even the domestic, the export version, they've just put the photo etch loose in the box, and apparently that gets damaged. So here we can see we have lots of tiny parts. Some very, very fragile parts here, very nicely done. There's parts of the, is that the crane or the mast? I think that's the crane. This is the crane structure that underneath the flight deck, where the boats hang off. It's very nice indeed. This is all beautifully moulded, as you can see, very, very crisply done. Got a little anchor there, which is very nice. And there's one of our barbettes. I think that's for number 2. Or B, I'm not sure if it's 1, 2, or I think it's 1, 2, isn't it, on Japanese ships. And then there's the, that's where the what's his name? I always forget the name of it, don't I? Is going to go. There's a capstan there by the look of it. And then we've got the secondary rudder. There's our hangar doors, detailed on both sides, which is nice to see, so we can have them open or closed. Lovely rivet detail on that rudder as well. Yeah, beautifully done. And there's our doors for the ship's boats. Again, detailed on both sides, so you can have them open or closed. And then there's the bulkhead that door is going to go into. And then here's the vents for the funnel. Lots of cleanup required on them. But unavoidable, really. You can't really do them any other way, unless they were 3D printed. And, you know, at the end of the day, the way 3D printing is going, you may as well have a whole bloody 3D printed kit, which is what some manufacturers are doing. Go look at Norwegian Modelling Bench. She's done a review recently of a 3D printed kit, and to me it just looks bloody awful. It looks like everything's just designed to snap and break. So this one here, we'll have to be careful opening this one because we have parts hanging off the sprue for slide moulding purposes. What was that? Something just fell off. I'm just going to pick that up. Not sure what it was. It was only a piece of sprue. Okay, so here we have some beautifully moulded parts again. More parts of the main mast. That's got a snap in it there. Easily repairable. And then lots of little bits and pieces of greeblies and stuff here. That's the outriggers upon the bridge. Then we've got these splash shields and buttresses and everything. I don't know if you can hear Dotty, but I can. You can see down on here we've got the that's the structure that one of the secondary guns sits on. Very nicely done. Very nice indeed. In fact, I'll put it in the other way. Sorry guys, I need to bag these back up for fear of them getting hooked up with the other sprues and getting damaged. There we go. Right, so there's another sprue of boats. Okay, so obviously we've got 2 of these, as you can see, and again we've got the eye on here, so they're generic sprues for your IJN models. But beautifully done, ship's boats, looking gorgeous. All very nice indeed. Got the canvas covers there for them, the hulls here obviously, and then the deck detail on there. Beautiful, very impressive little kit, isn't it? Especially for the money, when you think this is, what I'm showing you here is basically the basic kit. And as I say, it's £129.99 in the UK, which is comparatively a bargain. I mean, no kit at £129.99 can be considered a bargain, but compared to the rest of the market, there's a piece there, we must make sure we don't lose that one. So here we have 3 of these sprues, and this is sprue D, and obviously here we've got, notice they put the number on there, isn't it? Here we've got obviously a stiffener for the hull, a little piece of sprue there broken. This has had a bit of a tough time, this one. But we can see here we've got, is that 155mm guns there. Here's 127s, but we've got metal barrels for them. And then here we've got our little anti-aircraft guns, little triples there. And here's all our mounts for the guns. Turret base, obviously we've got our barrels there with the blast bags, but if you get in the advanced kit, you're getting resin blast bags and you're getting turned aluminium barrels. So yeah, really, really nice. I mean, even if you do build the standard kit, the blast bags are beautifully moulded, as you can see there. You'll have a seam to clean up in the middle of the barrel, but no worries about that one. But basically, I mean, if you're in the market for Yamato and you buy the standard kit over the advanced, you know, you need to have a think about yourself, because for an extra 20 quid, I mean, the wooden deck and the 5 sheets of photo etch alone, you know, and then you consider all the turn brass and everything, and the resin. Now the turrets, I don't know about accuracy. As I say, I'm not getting into accuracy with these reviews, but I think most Yamato kits have some issue with the turret shape. I'm sure people will put me right on that one. But, there are issues, I know. Even the Fujimi standalone turret kits, apparently the shape of them is all incorrect as well. So bear that in mind when you look comparing notes. There's the extra plating that's going around the side of the secondary guns. These are 155mm. I believe there is an issue here with the mast. You've got these holes to drill. Be careful not to drill them all out. One has one type of mast, the other has the other type of mast. And I believe the rear support for the mast should be further up the angle. I think they've kind of got it, you know, sort of sitting here, here and here, and it should be sort of here, here and up there sort of thing. So bear that in mind. Just have to bend the mast a bit when you put it in. But yeah, lovely. There's 3 of those. I'm going to put them back in the bag. In fact, what I'm going to do is, as we normally do in our reviews, is tape this part to the sprue so it doesn't get lost. There we go. Looks like these sprues need a wash because that tape doesn't want to stick very well. Mind you, I'm finding lately that Tamiya tape doesn't want to stick to anything very well. I don't know if they've changed suppliers or what. It just doesn't seem to be that sticky anymore. Right, so now we're on to loads of small sprues. So we've got bags and bags of tiny sprues here. Here's one with some big clumsy parts on it. Here's our Superstructure. Then we've got our chain, and we've got some decals, decals, whatever you want to call them. Right, so let's have a look at what we've got here. So we have, here's our forecastle. That's a nicely shaped bag, isn't it? It's funny they went to all the trouble of doing that. So we'll cut the back of this open, being careful not to touch the parts. So we have, there's our supports for the hull, obviously. And then we have some gun positions, very nicely done. And then there's our forecastle. Again, this detail on here may be a little heavy, but it's easy to sand it back should you want to. But it's going to make it very nice to wash and dry brush and everything. And it's nice that they've put this in like this. I know on one of the other kits, there's a great big sprue gate on the side here, and it sort of looks like it's ripping apart the side of the deck. And it looks like we also have an overlap. It looks like the main deck, yeah, the main deck is going to sit on top. So that's very nice, rather than having a butt joint with a gap in between. That fits on there beautifully, doesn't it? And we've got the little wall there. So yeah, that's very nice indeed. Very, very nice indeed. So yeah, looking like a proper one, this kit, isn't it? Right, so here we have our main superstructure, as the base of it anyway. So this is all very nice. Again, accuracy, I don't know. I know there's some issues with shapes here on some of them. Some of them have a slope side here, some of them have a straight side. I'm not sure what's correct. But, I'm sure photographic evidence will let us know. So here we can see we've got all the steps and stuff up the side. It's the only thing you don't get. If you get the DX kit, there's like a 7th photo etch fret, which has the steps and all the templates to drill and put the little steps in. This kit doesn't have that. It's the only photo etch it's lacking. But there we go. So very, very nice indeed. Beautifully moulded. All the eyebrows over the portholes and everything, look. Those grills are nicely moulded as well. They'll look great under a coat of paint and wash. You can drill out and put all your steps in there and everything, look. Very nice if you've got the DX kit, that is. Or you could contact Verifire and ask them if they would will sell you the little fret. Quite why they don't include it in the advanced kit, I don't know, because it's tiny. It's only about this big. Okay, so here's a bag of parts. So what have we got in here? We have, this is sprue IJN, so another generic one. I'm going to put all this to one side. So we've got our paravanes on there. We've got some little lookouts here. And some more lookouts by the look of it. They call them telescopes in the kit. So that's that one. And then here we have sprue IM. So we've got some searchlights here. That is basically all searchlights. So again, you see these are generic for all the Japanese kits. So that's IM. And then here we have IO. IO, it's off to work we go. I think that's some more little telescopes there and the stanchions for them. So we've got 3 of those. And then here we have, finally from this bag, we have IP. And this looks like little ammo boxes and stuff, I think. As you can see there. Beautifully moulded, beautifully detailed. We've got a stray part there, so once again we'll get our tape out. We'll take that to the fret. I'm not sure which one it came from, but as long as it's in the bag, I'll be happy. There we go. So there we are. So yeah, those paravanes look very nice. I do believe we get resin ones. I can't remember now. What I am going to show you at the end of this video, I'm going to show you all the bits you get with the advanced set, and then there is an additional, I don't quite understand what Sueya is telling me. I think what she's saying is that there's additional resin. I don't know if it's just something she's chucked in for me, or if it's going to be available as an option. I think it's going to be available as an option, but don't count me on it. Another bag of tiny parts. I like the way they've done this. I mean, it's all bagged together, which I'm not a fan of, as you know, but all the sprues are flat, and there's nothing sticky outy. So we've got our 27mm guns, I believe they are. This is sprue IR, so again it's a generic one. So we've got IR, we've got one of those, we've got 3 IS and 2 IT. So there's our little standalone single guns. And then here we've got IT. We've got some more searchlights here, look, some masts and stuff. But again, you can see the moulding on there is extremely crisp, very sharp, very nicely done. And then here we've got 3 of these. This is sprue IS. We've got all our reels here. So we're going to have photo etch sides for them, more reels here, and then we've got some winches. So yeah, very beautifully done. As I say, we've got 3 of those. Nice that they've moulded the cable reels on rather than like the 200th kit, you just get the spindle in the centre, which is a bit naff. But with this one, you're actually getting the cable moulded in. That's lovely. Very nice indeed. Put that to one side over there. And then here we have, this is our penultimate bag. This looks like airplanes and cranes and stuff like that. Again, very tightly packaged. So here we have, I don't remember the name of the planes there, but this is the twin float one by the look of it. And we've got our catapults there. So we've got the tail planes, propeller, actual airplane, wings, or the wing. So that's very nice. Now apparently Yamato never carried these aircraft. All the manufacturers give you these aircraft with the twin floats. Apparently they only ever carried the IG, I think it was, the single float one. So there's 2 of those. So that's sprue IG, again generic. And then we've got here we have IF, and this is your single float plane, which I believe she did carry. But apparently there were none of these planes on her last Ichitaiga, was it? There were none of these on her last mission as sunk. So if you want to build her as sunk, there were no aircraft on board apparently. But you can see lovely, very delicate parts, a little bit of damage on there. This is the problem with putting multiple sprues in a bag. There we go, very nice. And obviously we've got 2 of those. And then here we have another generic IH sprue. So we've got more guns. So is that more 127 mils, I'm guessing? Not sure what they are, but they've got ladder rungs on them. And then there's some, that's parts of guns there, isn't it? That's parts of these guns. And there's some triple barrels or quadruple barrels there. We got 2 of those. These are just ejector tabs. And then the final sprue, or the final bag should I say, we have here. So we have 4 of these. Sorry, we have 5 of these. And this is sprue IE. So here we have some more triple guns down the centre. We have some life rafts. I recognise this one from Taiho. More little parts of the guns here. Very, very finely moulded. Very, very tiny parts. They're all beautifully done. You can see on those life rafts there, they've got the life rings, should I say. They got the supports moulded on as well. As I say, there's 5 of those, so that's really nice. So that is that. We've got our chain here, which is nice. It's blackened. It kind of looks almost like it's rusty already. But it does look nice. There we go. Doesn't have the bars going across the chain. I'm not sure if the Japanese Navy had that or not, but it is blackened, so very nicely done. Again, memories of Taiho here. It's nice they've done that rather than mould it on, which is sort of, I think, is a thing of the past these days, but there are still kits around obviously with it moulded on. So there we go. So that's all the plastic covered. So let's have a look now at what else we get in the kit. So as far as moulded parts go, here's 3D printed parts. So here we have our blast bags for our guns. So we have 9 there for our main guns. And I seem to remember Sen Navy commenting about the quality of the printing was pretty poor. It was full of holes. But I'm looking at this one through a magnifier and it looks perfect. They look perfect. I can't see any holes in them. They are beautiful. Very nicely done indeed. And your metal barrels are just going to pop in the end of there. And then there's the ones for the 155mm guns. So we've got 6 of those and 9 of those. I don't quite know why we got 6 of those. Shouldn't we have? Should it be 6? I can't remember now. 6. There's 3 guns on the 155. I think there was, wasn't there? So yeah, there we go. The guns that came off of Megami. So that was her secondary guns. And if you notice on Yamato, she's only got 2 secondary guns, but they're numbered 1 and 4, and that is because in her early days, Yamato had, if this is the bow, this is the stern, she had 1, 2, 3, 4, or it might have been 2, 3. But then you remove those side guns and replace them with all the guns down the sides. So that one's still number 1 and that's still number 4, even though there's only 2 of them. And then here we have a beautifully made little block of 3D printed resin, all beautifully protected. And you can see in here we have air chutes, we have the let me get the list out of the names of the parts so that I don't get this all wrong. I'll come here without all the sprues falling on the ground, please. Thank you. Yeah, so you can see in here we've seen all the blast bags there, and then we've got little vents. We have the radars. Okay, they look like sort of trumpet horns. We've got some tiny vents there. We've got the big vent there. We've got a crane part. That's the base of the crane. Tiny little chutes going on the top of the funnel. The main mast. That's the main. You can see it there on the top left-hand corner. You can see in there, that's the actual mast where all the metal parts of the mast are going to go into. These metal parts here. And then we've got the 127mm blast bags. You can see them on the right, on the top and the bottom. And then we've got some 40cm searchlights. And there's 2 of those in there as well. So there's a lot of little parts in there, as you can see. All beautifully done and beautifully presented. There's blast bags there. There's parts going on the funnel. Yamato Advanced. So yeah, beautifully done and very much worth keeping in a bag. And there's something there. I'm going to put that in case that's the part broken off. Don't ever just go like that after you've opened these bags, guys, because you never know what you're throwing away. The beauty of resin is if it breaks, it breaks. With plastic, it stretches first, so it never goes back the same. But with this, it just breaks. So turn metal. Again, it's pretty obvious what's what here to a certain extent. So we've got our main guns here. You can see there's our main guns, aluminium. Very, very beautifully done. We will just do the finish check because I sometimes see on these turn barrels that they have a very high feed rate and you end up with turning marks. God blimey, that's a hard bag to open. We'll see what these are like. Just get one of them out. Oh, very nice. I think they've been mumbled actually. But you can see on there the finish is gorgeous. There's no turning marks or anything on there. And we've got the correct details up here. Some people say about the missing platforms here. On some kits, the platforms were only there for calibrating the guns, so they weren't there all the time. You'll see photographs with them there, and that's only because they were having the guns calibrated at the time. So there we go. So there are some gun barrels there. So that's our little, what are they? Are they 127s? Yes, they're the 127mm. So there should be 12 of those in there. And then we've got in here, we've got the 155mm, so there's 6 of those, obviously is 3 per gun. Okay. And then here we've got all our mast parts. So they're calling all of this mast, jack staff, ensign staff and all that. It's basically all beautifully turned brass parts. I'll go through in a minute and check it's all here. But yeah, it's very very nicely done. Every bit as nice as Pontos by the look of it. So that's that. That should all go back in its bag together, so we don't lose any of it. Okay. Now we come on to the photo etch. So here we have, I think it's 5 sheets of photo etch, isn't it? Yes. There's 6 in here because you also get the one that you get in the standard kit. So not quite sure how this is going to open. It's opening itself by the look of it. It's just tearing open on the side there. So we have 6 sheets of photo etch. So first of all, it's very thin. This is the standard one you get with the standard kit. So this is fret Z or Z. So we've got all the tracks there for our aircraft and our ship's boats. And then we've got these are the walkways that are done in linoleum on the flight deck. We've got cradles here for the aircraft. These are all the frames for our reels, cable reels and everything. But yeah, beautifully done and extremely thin. So you have to be really careful to keep those tracks straight. Quite often you see them, they're all wonky and everything. It's going to be very difficult to keep them straight, but just treat them with love and care. That's the one place where stainless steel is really handy because it doesn't bend as easily. So that's your standard fret, and then this is what you're going to get with the advanced kit. So if you just buy the standard kit, you don't get those barrels I just showed you, you don't get the resin, and you don't get anything of what I'm going to show you now, but you get everything else you've seen up to now, other than the resin and the turn metal. So they call them scribed brass parts. It's actually turned. So this is photo etch fret A. So you can see on here we've got all the railings for the ship itself. We've got the frames here that are going to go around the blast bags on the main guns. I've got bits and pieces here. I'm not exactly sure what they are. We've got some canopies there for the aircraft by the look of it. Is that what they are? No, they're not. Got some ladders. We've got the frames there for the bag supports going under the guns. Got the railings going over the top of the guns here. That's all nicely done. And then here on fret B, we have the checker plate flooring, which as you can see is see-through. So that's going to be nice to go onto that lookout area. Then we've got the tread plates here for the... surprised you don't get that in the standard kit. Photo etch there for the tread plate on the flight deck around the sides. More steps and ladders and everything here. Bits of the radar by the look of it. This is that platform that goes off the side. Somebody told me it's a platform. Somebody else said it's an emergency rudder. And you can see here we have the steps. Okay, so here are some of those steps, and here are the templates for actually drilling. So you can fit those little ladders on. I don't think these are called out in the instructions at all, but you can see there the tiny little ladder rungs. So you can actually put them in. Where's that piece of superstructure gone? Where did I put it? Here it is. So you can actually drill out these, where these steps are moulded on here. You can drill them out and then put the little photo etch rungs in if you want to drive yourself crazy. All you do with those is take this guide off, put a piece of sellotape over it, stick it where it's going to go, drill through the sellotape into the plastic, and then you'll have all your holes to make those little ladder rungs. I didn't think you got these in this, but there we go. And here's our largest sheet here. So we've got all the grab rails going around the funnel and everything. There's a ring for the funnel, some more steps, some more railings. I'm not exactly sure what that is there, but it's going to be folded up. We've got parts of a crane there, is it? This is a crane here. Is that a mast? Or is that the upright for the crane and that's the top part of the crane? We've got catapults done in etch. That's very nice. And then we've got all the segregation plates for the top of the funnel there. Here we have fret D. So this is lots and lots of very, very fine. We've got propellers there for their aircraft. We've got canopy frames for the aircraft there. And then here we've got some very, very fine rings that are going to go around bits and bobs. Parts of the radar there, look. So yeah, I mean, you guys are going to want this kit big time. I know you are. Beautiful. Beautifully done. That looks like the window area of the bridge. I believe on the kit it's just moulded solid. But you cut that out and put this in its place. So that's gorgeous. As I say, it's extremely thin. So that's very, very nice indeed. So we'll put all that out of the way so it doesn't get damaged. As I say, it's beautifully packaged, wrapped up in the film and then put in that box. And then finally for today, guys, we have the deck. And I'm not going to get this out because I don't want the atmosphere to get to it. But basically we have a beautifully made wooden deck. And you can see it's done on 3M paper. Now, if you watch Sen Navy, as I do, in one of his videos, he was led to believe that if you get the deluxe kit, you get the 3M backing. If you don't get the deluxe kit, you don't. But it looks like he's actually incorrect with that assumption because this is the advanced kit and it's got the 3M backing. So very, very nice indeed. Nice they're calling her Yamato 1945 as well because that's how she's depicted with these gun emplacements down the sides. Nice that they've put the join there as well behind the gun rather than in between the guns. The one thing I don't like about this is the constantly staggered planking, as you can see, but you know, that's just me. But we do have all the holes all pre-drilled in there and everything, which is unfortunate if you want to do a different version of Yamato because you're going to have holes you'll have to fill in. But there we go, it is what it is. So yeah, very nicely done indeed. And as I say, with that 3M backing on there, you can't get better than that, can you? You can see there's some separate parts there. We don't have the separate raised areas. There are, it looks like they've missed that out. Around the sides of the deck on Yamato, there are raised wooden areas to prevent water from splashing onto the deck or whatever, or to form gullies for the water to run off. I'm not sure which, but they are actually included in the Tamiya wooden deck. They'd be easy enough to make with some straight strips. They're just very, very thin strips of wood, and they go on top of the deck. If you don't know what I mean, go and have a look at the Tamiya kit. Or the Tamiya wooden deck that's extra. This comes with it. I mean, this is just a bloody bargain. It's absolutely ridiculous they give you this. So there we go. So that's basically the advanced kit. So everything you saw up to the point where I showed you the 3D printed resin was basically the standard kit. So we're getting the standard kit, the 3D printed resin, the turn barrels, all that extra photo etch, and the wooden deck for an extra £20. It's unbelievable. I'm hoping that price is correct. And then here we have some additional parts. Now, I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but Sueya sent me these. Whether this is going to be an additional set to purchase or not, I don't know. But basically in here we have some very beautifully printed 3D resin, which is going to replace a lot of the very finely moulded plastic parts. So what we have here, just going to, I've written down a list of what I think it all is. I could well be wrong. It won't be the first time and it certainly won't be the last. Very carefully get this out. You can see on here we've got all these little, what they call telescopes on the top here. Beautifully done. Okay, and then we've got some tiny little funnels here that are going to go around, they look like they're going to go around the top of the main funnel. And then we've got some winches here. That looks like the navigation lights and some other little pieces there. And they are all beautifully, beautifully done. Now, as I say, I'm not a massive fan of 3D printed resin. It's very, very brittle, but it's all very nicely done anyway. So I think it's fine for bits like this, but when you start doing small guns with the tiny barrels and everything, they're just going to snap off as soon as you look at them. And then here we have another nicely done fret. Be careful not to damage anything getting it out. There we go. So there we have paravanes. Beautifully done. And then we have searchlights. So it looks like they've done these like as a generic IJN set, because we've got searchlights there. So we've got 150 centimeter searchlights. There's 8 of those. And then we've got the 60 centimeter searchlights, and there's 4 of those. And then we've got 40 centimeter searchlights. There's 4 of those. The 3 of those, sorry. I thought there were 4. But there we go. But you can see those paravanes are gorgeous, aren't they? So yeah, and those searchlights are beautiful as well. Now, as I say, this is not part of the advanced kit. I think this is just some generic 3D printed resin parts they're going to offer up for the market. I don't know. But she just said, I will send you some additional resin parts which are not part of the events kit. And then I asked if they're going to be available, and I don't really know what's going on. But no doubt they're going to be available. They wouldn't have just printed those for me. There's no way. But they may be part of a generic, bigger sort of IJN generic set they're working on or something. I don't know. So there we go. So as I say, they are not part of this kit. I don't even think they're part of the DX kit. You get those parts in the DX kit, but I don't know if that's the actual fret you get. You know what I mean? So there we are. So that has been the beautiful Yamato from Verifier. And it's sort of scratching my nose there. But there's the planes there. Jake and the Pete. I don't think they actually carried Jakes. But there we go. So there we go. It's chrysanthemum on the front. That's the word I was looking for. So yeah, we've got different sterns and lots of resin, lots and lots of metal, lots and lots of PE, and it's just, you know, it's just an absolute bargain. I mean, if somebody brought out an aftermarket set for this kit and it contained that and those metal parts, and it was £149, people would buy it. People would buy that for £149. For this, you're getting the whole bloody kit as well. So, rumours are the second batch may be more expensive. I think it's obvious what's going on here. It's like every man and his dog is producing Yamato at the moment. Tamiya, border model, Verifier, all in 1/350th scale. And they're all going to be wanting a slice of the market. And I think what Verifier have done here is killed it. So I think it's a better kit. I think the Verifier kit is a better kit than the border model. It's certainly better packaged. I think the packaging could be improved. You know, some separation to keep the sprues apart. As you can see, and I've had a couple of parts damaged, but nothing too much. But the packaging on this is no doubt better than the border model kit. I think the moulding is cleaner. The moulding is crisper. I think the accuracy is better. You're getting the ship's boats on this one, which you don't get with the Tamiya or the border model. And you're getting all this lovely photo etch and the wooden deck. It's just, and it's a bargain. So, you know, even putting price aside, I think this is the best of the three, comparing Tamiya, border and Verifier. That's just my opinion. Having seen reviews of the border fire, I shouldn't really be so critical of the border model because I haven't actually held one in my hands, but I've seen reviews and I think this is by far the better kit. Thank you for watching, everybody. Any questions, pop them down below. Any observations, obviously put them in the comments down below as well. So thank you very much, and I'll see you all soon for some more stuff. Whether I build this or not, I don't know. What I will probably do is build the hull to see how well it goes together and do very similar to what Sen Navy's done, and then we can compare how this goes together compared to Tamiya or whatever. But I can tell you now, without even picking it off the sprues, it's better than the Tamiya to put together, because that Tamiya hull is a joke. I don't know why they did it the way they did it. I don't know why they had to put so many bloody screws and all this crap in it. It's a plastic model. You know, it's not radio controlled or anything. It doesn't need to be strong. They just very, very over-engineered it, and as a result, gave us loads and loads of seams to deal with. So, yeah, it used to be the one, but it's not anymore. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye for now.